Here we are again. Time flies by when you're having a good time, right? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show today. This is our 32nd live episode, so it's actually a total of 362 episodes of the show. Thanks to all of you for your support over coming up. It'll be 7 years coming up in November for the show. Wow, how did that happen? Like I said, time flies when you're having a good time. So hello, everybody, for just coming in and joining us right now. It's fantastic to see you here. I've got a bit of a shorter show today. Happy Thanksgiving. That's why it's going to be a little shorter of a show. I'm grateful to both of my guests for taking time out of this holiday to stop by and talk to us about. I say it every week. I'm going to say it again. I look forward to Mondays. Some people drag themselves out on Mondays, but I have my show with Stephen Healy, and then I get to have this show. And then later tonight, I get to have some fun. We'll talk about that as well. So Mondays are it's party time. I hope you filled your bellies. Got out to see some family and friends. Filling the bellies. Yeah, it's almost Christmas. Am I allowed to say? Am I even allowed to? Somebody was just throwing something at me when I said that. But it's going to be here before you know it. Summertime's flown by really super fast. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. That's what they say. The older you get, the faster time goes. Maybe. I don't know. Corinder's out there saying hello. He was watching the show with Stephen Healy and myself earlier. Thanks, Corinder, for watching. And yeah, Monday is a great time. So here we are, ready to get things started. I've got to talk about the Sarnia Sting. This is a tough one to talk about. The Sarnia Sting off to a good start, but this week they've had a really rough go of it. 3 losses this week already. It started off against the Owen Sound Attack, which I know for Sarnia Sting fans, a lot of them thought this was kind of a test, if you get by the Owen Sound Attack, because they've got a great team. But it's still too. We're already judging. We're already trying to figure out, reading the stats and all that stuff on what's going to happen. It's too early to tell. Sarnia Sting certainly has some new players on board. Jacob Burrows, for one, who's already got 4 goals this season already and 1 assist. So that's fantastic. But lots to see coming from the Sarnia Sting. But they did come out with a loss against the Owen Sound Attack. Final score there was 5-2. Then they went on to Guelph to take them on, and this was an interesting game. The first period, Sarnia Sting was leading 3-1 against the Guelph Storm, another strong team. Ended up coming out with a loss there. A final score 6-5. So a busy game, a hockey game it was there. But then continuing on, this was an exciting game as they came back to the Progressive Auto Sales Arena to host the Kitchener Rangers. Another rivalry that is well known with the Sarnia Sting and the Kitchener Rangers. And it was an interesting first period. First period, Rangers took the first goal very quickly. It was a score of 1-0. But then coming out in the second period, where we got all of our 3 goals in the first 12 seconds, a goal was had by the Sarnia Sting. So that really got the fans excited as it became 1-1. This was, I called it a bit of a tennis match. It was 1-0, 1-1. It was 2-1. It was 2-2. But unfortunately, coming down to the end of it all, the Kitchener Rangers prevailed at a final score of 4-3. So the Sarnia Sting get some time off this week for Thanksgiving and time to practice and focus on a few things. And hopefully when they come back here next week, which we will be there, of course, back-to-back games. They'll get another chance against the Guelph Storm coming up on Saturday, and then the Mississauga Steelheads on the Sunday as well. So we'll be down there, myself and Jay Peckham, broadcasting live pre-show and intermission to give you the updates. There you see Jacob Perreault. We had an interview with him post-game after the Kitchener Rangers. And as I said, Jacob's doing very, very well. He's somebody we're going to be talking about a lot, I'm sure, throughout the Sarnia Sting season. And we had a chance to catch up with him post-game. And you can watch that on the show page there. Just scroll down a little bit. It's not too far away. And we had a nice chat with Jacob Perreault. We'll be doing all the post-game interviews at the Sarnia Sting home games as well. So thanks to Jacob Perreault for talking to us. And, you talk about more about the Sarnia Sting. The Sarnia Sting just lost Jameson Reese. He's out until about January with an injury. So what a time to lose him. But it does create some opportunity for some of the new young fellas to step up to the plate and show some of their skills, right? So it's a really I got a lot of faith in the Sarnia Sting, and I don't just say that just because I'm there at the home games, but learning about it over the past 3-4 years, the Sarnia Sting has built a fantastic team. There's been a lot of depth involved last year on the team. Myself and Jay Peckham talk a lot about depth all the time on this team. And while we have some younger ones that maybe have the speed and the ambition, we've got some older ones that have the experience and leadership skills. Really just a fantastic team variables there to make it work well. So again, early in the season to tell, but they've got to start making some more waves there. As I say again, this week, a really tough week for the Sarnia Sting. So once again, we'll be down there at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena this Saturday. Puck drop will be 7:05. My friend Jay Peckham will join me there as well as they get ready to take on the Guelph Storm. Well, some exciting news here in the show world. You can now listen to me on Spotify. So take me on the road with you, will you? Wherever you're going now, you can listen on Spotify, and you can click the follow button so you'll get updates. They get updated within a couple of hours. So as of the end of this show today, within a couple of hours, the next episode will be available on Spotify as well. We're also available on Stitcher and pretty well anywhere there's a podcast. So you can download us onto your phone now. Go jogging. Take me jogging with you. I need the exercise. All right. So Spotify, thank you for having us on there. All right. Politics. Who likes to talk politics? It's an interesting world of politics, especially here in Sarnia, as Sarnia gets ready to vote, and it will start on October the 11th through to the 22nd. What's happening there? The 11th to the 22nd? Isn't usually just one day? Sarnia has stepped into the electronic world, and e-voting will now be available for the first time at this municipal election here in Sarnia. You'll be able to vote from this device, your mobile device, or your tablet, or your computer. You'll be able to call in on a phone and vote that way. It's completely paperless. Now, some people might not agree with that or think I'm not ready for that. I'm not sure what your opinion lies at, but it is going to happen regardless. So if you want to know how that works, you should have gotten in the mail by now a letter, so you have your code and everything to figure out. And if you're still not sure about it, go to sarnia.ca. There's a video there that explains how it's all going to work. It's very, very simple. Even if you don't like electronic devices, it's basically paper on a screen. You're still going to be able to just pick who you want to vote for, right? So that, of course, starts on October the 11th and will run through till October the 22nd. And, we've seen lots of things happening on social media, good and bad, interesting, about e-voting and just how these campaigns are being run. So Corinder's asking if there's a link for that. It's just for voting here in our town, Corinder. But if you want to learn more about it, you can go to sarnia.ca. Sarnia.ca. That's the website, and you can go through that and find some links there. But this is for our local election here. We're looking for city council and city county council. And, of course, there's 4 people running for mayor of our city as well. So coming up, I'm going to be doing a show. I'm going to I've really put a lot of thought into whether I wanted to do this or not. I know there's been a lot of people out on the Facebook world that have been interviewing the candidates. There's been a lot of candidates fairs at 3 of the different parks, and there's the Chambers put one on Wednesday night, actually. There'll be one here in our city at Lambton Mall to meet the candidates. So there's lots of opportunity to get out and meet the candidates, find out face-to-face what they're all about, and to help you decide who you want to vote for, who do you want to put in to the seats to help run our city here. So myself and my friend Jay Peckham, who helps me at the Sarnia Sting Games, he's also got a page called Sarnia Municipal Elections on Facebook. That's Sarnia Municipal Elections. And we decided that we wanted to talk about the election, but in a bit of a different format. We haven't invited any of the candidates to come on and talk. We just want to talk about the atmosphere of the election. We want to talk about e-voting. We want to talk about social media, what kind of an effect it may have on the election, what the e-voting may or may not have on the election. We want to have a positive conversation about the election. And we're very fortunate that we are going to have current Sarnia City Councillor Mike Kelch is going to join us. And Mike Kelch has been a councillor for the city of Sarnia for 21 years. So he's seen and been through several campaigns and elections in his political career. He is not running again. He has decided to retire and at least take a break. There were hints that maybe someday, but I know he's retiring. So we're fortunate to have him. He'll be joining us on this show called Municipal Perspective. And this is going to happen this coming Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So Mike Kelch, grateful to have him joining us. We're also going to have Caleb McKinnon, who was the organizer of the Meet the Candidates Fair that happened at Tecumseh Park, Mike Weir Park, and I forget the other one up in the north end. He put that all together for the candidates to come out and, again, give you an opportunity to meet. So he's going to join us on there as well. We had invited some other folks. They just they weren't declining as much for any other reason other than they just weren't able to fit it into their schedule. So we did ask Steve Loxton from City of Sarnia Unofficial Group and Katie Horvath, who runs Vocalize. So we thank them for trying, but their schedule's just not going to allow. So this is going to happen coming up Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern time, 7 in the evening. It'll be a full 1 hour show with our guests. And we will have a moment at the end where if you want to join us on camera or, ask your questions, we'll be taking your comments live. Again, that'll be on my show page at 7 o'clock Eastern coming up this week. So looking forward to that, having a positive discussion. Jay Peckham and I have put a lot of thought into what we're going to talk about here. It's going to be a positive conversation, an important conversation about our municipal election that begins again on October the 11th and will run through till October the 22nd. All right. It's okay, Sue. I see you're back. One of my guests in the lobby disappeared for a minute. It's okay. Let's talk about this coming up. The Ladies Fall Expo is coming up on Wednesday, October the 24th. You've heard me talk about this before. This is exciting. There's a lot of women in business in Sarnia Lambton, and this really focuses on those women and what they're up to in the business world. And just as important, this is the 13th year for this Ladies Fall Expo, but it's the third year that they are supporting Noel's Gift, the nonprofit here, of course, that supports, they've raised millions of dollars in support of children in school who maybe need some extra food or maybe extra clothing or books, or they just need assistance with going to school. And they support a lot of nonprofit organizations that support youth in our community as well. So that's coming up on October the 24th on Wednesday. I will be there live. They've brought me in. I'm going to be outnumbered. It's the Ladies Fall Expo. I'm probably going to be the only guy there. So I'm definitely going to be outnumbered that day. Although I'm thinking there's probably going to be a lot of wives that are going to tell their husbands they have to go to this thing too. So hopefully some of the guys go. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Of course, we're going to have a lot of fun out there with the Ladies Fall Expo and looking forward to that. And of course, you can come out to that and it's free to get in, but they do take donations at the door, again, supporting Noel's Gift here in Sarnia Lambton. All right. Well, we're going to reorganize things, Sue. We're going to have to do that because we've got two guests on here today. We were going to have the Painted Cat was going to be joining us, but she is traveling, I do believe. And so we're going to switch things up. Sue Bendall is in the lobby, and she's going to join us. And she was traveling to get to this point as well today. So I really appreciate her. So let's just get things started and underway. Hello, Sue.
Hi, Dave.
Thanks so much for coming on tonight.
No problem.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
You were out of town. You were in Brantford, was it?
I was in Brantford at my daughter's, yes.
Okay. Did she feed you good?
Actually, I took the food there.
Oh, wow. You're like super mom.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I am. That's good. So is that where, do you just have a daughter? Or do you have other children or?
No, I have 2 daughters and 3 sons.
Wow, you really are super mom. So this was do you go to her place every year, or is this you change
Oh,
up?
they come this way. We mix match. It's whoever's house it works out best for.
There you go. Scheduling and all that stuff. Well, that's good that you got an opportunity to do that.
Thanks.
Well, let's get started on let's talk about CCMF Sarnia. Is the talk about what that is and how you got involved. First of all, I'll give everybody a little bit of background on you too.
Okay. Well, CCMF is Community Concerns for the Medically Fragile, and it was started by a group of parents whose children were growing, getting older. They were needing housing, and they started out way back in 1989, and then they became a registered charity by 1990. And they approached the government instead of housing their medically fragile children in hospitals, because that's what they used to do. Okay. They convinced the government that a group home type setting or a home setting would be cheaper for the government to run. And it took both the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Long-Term Care came together, and it took until 2004, but in 2004, the doors opened for Standing Oaks.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's quite a story, though.
It is. And
it's a long, when I say a long story, I mean, that's a lot of patience.
Amazingly dedicated parents.
Yeah.
That were the founding members, and some still are right there along, supporting the many programs that they do offer their individuals.
Right.
My background, I had worked for W. Ross McDonald, which was the blind and deafblind program in Brantford.
Okay.
And when I retired from there, someone else knew about my background and asked if I'd be interested in teaching the art program.
Okay. And so you kind of taken those skills and combined it with what you're doing now, and brought the art program, the hands-on. It's called the hands-on art project, right?
Hands-on art program, and it's a very adapted art program. And the individuals I work with will use everything from their finger painting, or we activate switches if we're drawing objects, because most of them, not all of them, but most of them don't have functional use of their hands. We'll use a sponge attached to a band where they can use swiping, or we bring the canvas to them, and it's
right.
choice making, and but they movements that create the art.
Yeah. You and I met, I think it was a couple of years ago now. And you've interviewed you quite some time ago. And I was totally, that was down at the Lawrence House, I believe that happened.
Yeah.
And I was totally amazed. I mean, you know me, I've always said I don't know how to draw anything. So I have an appreciation for any kind of art form, but blown away by the talent that comes out of these young folks. And I know when we were at Art Under Glass, my wife Jennifer bought some of the coasters, and we just love them. And we've had already people over, and they're like, and it's mostly girl talk, right? But it's like, oh, where did you get that? And I'm of course the first one to come up and say, that's unicorn spit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? I'm like, that's a thing. Unicorn spit is a thing.
It is. It is a type of stained glaze gel, and it's a different medium that I introduced to the program this year. I had started playing with it, and it just adds a very vibrant color. It's a very versatile product, and it's totally non-toxic and safe for the individuals to use. You can wash it off with just soap and water, and it's a wonderful product. And it does. People are drawn to the things that we make with that. But just to back up, when we're doing I've been doing it for 4 years now, the program.
Yeah.
When we start it's just strictly for the artists themselves. That's the main focus of the art program. It's for them. It's a type of art therapy for them. And but we had so many beautiful pieces of art.
Yeah.
And that the first time when we did the show at the Lawrence House, it was because we had such an abundance of artwork. I said the community needs to see this.
Absolutely.
And that's so that's we don't make the art to sell art. We make the art for the artists. They do it for themselves first, but sometimes there's just too much, and so we bring it out there.
Well, and honestly, like, don't undervalue yourself, right? I mean, it's one thing to be able to create something and share it and show it off, but to be able to sell it, honestly, I think is really the biggest compliment that someone's willing to purchase my art, right? You know, and that has to add to the reward and happiness of the artists.
Well, and absolutely. And any of the artists, if you were able to get out and see them at Art Under Glass, you could see they love being in front of an audience and doing.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a really good time. And it was nice for the community to be able to see that.
I had seen it once before, and fortunately, I had my wife Jennifer with me at Art Under Glass, and she was watching from afar. You know, and then she got a little closer, and she was just like, "This is so fantastic!" And you can just see the happiness that's being created. And yeah, they really like an audience. They didn't mind showing off a little bit, right? And that's okay. That's okay to encourage that, right? Because who doesn't like to feel appreciated for what they do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're very fortunate that Sarnia really is a giving and supportive community, because there are so many different groups. Like the Rotary has been a huge supporter of CCMF, and like the Carolyn Wilson Foundation, or the Catherine Wilson Foundation, who has been a great supporter for about 3 years now with our art program. And we have not only art, we have a music program and an dance program. So,
sorry, what was the last one you cut out for a minute?
Interactive dance program.
Oh, okay.
Like we'll have a Halloween dance coming up.
Nice.
And then a Christmas party. So about 4 times a year, they'll have a party for the individuals, and for any other individuals in the community who are medically fragile are also invited.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. It must be, there's got to be some challenges along the way here to come through. And you've done a fantastic job, by the way. I watched you with the folks, and you just do a fantastic job. And then I think one of the things I notice about you is you just treat them just like everybody else, right? They're just people, right? And I think we like, I know it, but we forget that sometimes, you know. I think we're not sure how to act or help, right?
Yeah, it's really hard, because the majority of people, they see the chair first instead of the individual.
Yep.
And it can be intimidating for some, but you can just joke around the same as for everybody. And
yeah,
my artists have a lot of really good staff around them. The staff at Burning Oaks are just phenomenal, and they just treat them with such respect, and we have fun with them. So
communication though must be an issue at times. Like, how do you have to find alternative ways to communicate?
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where my background with deafblind helps, because with that we work with a total communication approach. So you're using every means. It's not just your voice. It's, you know, hand signals or gestures or things like the paintbrush would be a cue for its, art or time for painting.
Yeah.
They're familiar enough with me now that it's my loud voice coming in and I'm this crazy person coming in. We used to have, I always put the same CD on and start our music, and that would be an extra cue that, music is, or art class is going to start.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, what about the interactive dance? That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. It's usually they hold it at the Lambton Room at Pathways, and they'll have their set list of music playing and dancing, and usually the families or siblings are invited of the participants,
Okay.
and they'll have a craft table of sorts set up, or like different activities, as well as the dance and the music itself. And sometimes there is a dance instructor there as well. So
Right.
yeah.
Do you and do you dance, Sue?
Myself, we're already priming for the time warp with one artist. That's a lot of times. That's how I can get her to really engage in the art. The crazier I act, the more she engages in the art. So you go with what works.
So go crazy. That's all. Have you just figured out what you're going to dress up as yet?
Not yet. Last
No.
year I went as Moana's grandmother, but it was pretty hot doing the time warp. So
Fantastic. What about finances? I always like to bring, everybody needs money to keep their organization going. Aside from the obvious of, the selling of the paintings, do you do other fundraisers, or do you reach out to corporate world, or where does that come from?
CCMF, the organization itself, the parents group, they continue to do fundraising for both the home at Standing Oaks. They just put a big addition on there, which the Rotary Club very generously donated $50,000 towards.
Wow.
And so that will enable 4 more residents to live there that can get out of the hospital or wherever they are right now. That will help. I have no idea who's going in or not, but some may live at home, and the parents are aging and they need that extra support, because it is a 24/7 job when your child is medically fragile.
Yeah. It'd be challenging. I'm sure it's got its challenging moments, but at the end of the day, I guess that's another great reason why you're doing what you do, and why CCMF is available. And honestly, I think it's one of those. Pardon me. It's one of those organizations where probably people don't think about it until they have a need for something, right?
And it's a very small group. It's not, big and well known. It is a very select, very hardworking. And I do have to give a shout out to Susan Bulmer, has been my volunteer by my side with the art program, that I could not do it without her assistance. It was funny. We were saying I had her and Lori, one of the other parents, were volunteering in the booth when I was doing the demonstration at art. I said, we could have been robbed blind. The booth could have been emptied out, because when I'm doing the art with the individuals, that's where my focus is.
Yeah.
No clue what's going on around me.
Yeah. They wouldn't have got far if anybody tried.
Nah. So
do you welcome and continuously look for volunteers then?
When we're our Friday morning class, right now I've got 2 volunteers that come and help, and then there's staff there. So if 4 more residents move in, we'll definitely be needing some extra help.
Right. And I'm sure you'll take donations from anybody.
Absolutely. And you know what? The art world is very generous, and I have had calls from artists, and even some children of artists whose parents have passed away, and will donate frames, canvases, paints, and all of it helps. We use it.
Fantastic. Well, Sue, I want to thank you so much for jumping on a little early here so we could get things rolling. Again, kudos to you and your team for all that you do at CCMF. It's a joy every time I run into you. I was glad I could see it out under glass. And make sure you tell the folks that we've got some of their coasters on our coffee table here. It's a real conversation piece. Especially, I just like saying unicorn spit.
I know.
Unicorn spit. I look forward to the next time we see you. We shared your Facebook page there up on the screen, so if anybody wants to find out more, they can reach you there.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Is there anything else that you want to add before we go, or are we good?
I think we're good.
All right. Sue Bendall, thank you so much again for joining. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend, and glad you got home safe.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sue Bendall from CCMF Sarnia. She's just a wonderful lady, really a joy to run into whenever I get a chance to see her, and doing fantastic things. And like I said, Jennifer, we bought some coasters, ceramic coasters with unicorn spit. I just love saying unicorn spit. And if you want to find out more, you saw their Facebook page there. Keep in mind, folks, that after the show is over, I'll be posting links to all of our guests, their Facebook pages and their social medias, so you can reach out to them and find out more. All right. We got our next guest. We switched things up, but we got her anyway. I'm glad she's here. She turned me into a zombie a couple of years ago, and now she's grown and done so many more things, and we've got her here. She's in the lobby now. Let's bring her on. The Painted Cat is here. There she is. Hello, Cat.
Hello, Cat.
Hi, Dave.
How's it going?
Good. I just got back from the Brigden Fair.
Yeah. I'm hearing my voice. So,
okay.
So do you have headphones?
I don't have headphones.
Or earphones? Okay.
Is there anything I can do on my end?
If you can turn the volume down a little bit.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, that's better. I can still hear it a little bit, but it's way better. Turn it down as low as you can, but I know you got to hear me.
How's that?
I'm not sure.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. It's coming back. Are you watching on Facebook as well?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Hold on.
Yeah. Close that tab.
Okay, I've closed every other tab.
1, 2, buckle my shoe. Yeah, it's coming back out of your speakers, but that's okay. We'll get through it now.
Okay.
It's just the way. The headphones make it a little better. I've lost my train of thought. Okay, sorry. There we go. So, Painted Cat, you just got back from the Brigden Fair. How was that?
It was busy. It was and hot, but really fun. It's kind of a tradition that we go every year. So I like going and checking out all the animals and the contests that they have for artists and makers and everything. And of course, the air smells delicious, and you want all the food.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were just there hanging out? You didn't have a booth there? Or?
Yeah, no. The Brigden Fair, they already have their same face painter that they've had for years. So I actually get the day off and get to go and enjoy as a spectator.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with having the day off. Have you had your
Not
dinner
at
yet?
all. No, that's tonight.
That's tonight. All right.
Yeah, I got.
Go ahead.
I got the Thanksgiving pie from Sunripe. So it's like your turkey and your potatoes and stuffing and everything all in one pie. So it cuts your kitchen time in half.
So what time's dinner?
It's after this interview.
It's after this interview. Okay, I'll clean up and I'll be over.
Oh, perfect.
Well, Painted Cat, you and I have gotten to know each other. You were one of my first interviews like 7 years ago.
I remember that.
And was at your house, and you were just kind of getting started on this Painted Cat thing, right?
Yeah.
And you've done some amazing things since then, including you've been involved with Commander Chris Hatfield, and just a whole array of things that you've done with the Painted Cat. You've got to feel pretty good about all that.
It feels good to be doing what I love and to encourage other people to do what they love, for sure. We've expanded our team quite a bit, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of work, and you don't get a lot of weekends off, but it's all worth it when you're doing what you love.
I couldn't agree more with you on that one. You've grown a team now, like you say, like you started, it was just you. But now, and I've been out, and I got to say, sometimes when I'm out and I see the painted cat booth, and I kind of go over there, and I'm like, oh, she's not here. But I get it. You've grown a team.
The cloning machine isn't working quite well enough yet, so I have to hire my other artists and teach them everything I know so that they can go out and give the same quality that I would. But unfortunately, I can only be at one place at a time.
Yeah. Well, something else that you've worked on over the years as well is doing some motivational speaking as well.
Yes.
That's been a part of. Is that kind of been a part of the goal the whole time?
I mean, I've always been into public speaking. I started public speaking when I was, I think, in grade 4 or 5, and I used to do the competitions in school. And then I went around with the Optimist Club and got 2nd place in Southwestern Ontario. And so I think I got my feet wet pretty young. And I mean, I talked to strangers before that. So I've never had a problem speaking in public. And I've been inspired by a lot of public speakers as I've been growing my business. So I think it was actually at the self-employment benefits, like through the business planning club. I saw a motivational speaker there, and I went up to her afterwards and said, you know, I'd like to be a motivational speaker someday. And she said, no, change the thought process. You will be a motivational speaker one day.
Yeah, that's right.
And that just kind of like planted the seed. And so whenever I got a chance to speak in public, I would take it, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been able to speak not only in town, but also in Florida, in New Orleans, at different conventions and things like that, to just encourage people to be positive and to follow their dreams. And I always try and make it a little entertaining too.
Well, I have to say I'm really proud of you. I know I saw you not too long ago at Ignite Sarnia. You had your 5-minute chat there, and I've seen you grow to where you are now with things with the painted cat and your speaking. What kind of obstacles have you run into along the way that you could share with the viewers?
I think the biggest thing, and I get asked a lot by students who are doing projects on, you know, what they want to do in the future, and they have to interview like an entrepreneur, or, you know, a co-op student will ask me, you know, if you could do anything differently, kind of, you know, what would you do? And for me, I would have taken more business classes when I was younger. I took all the art classes and I did all the art and the creative side, but if you don't know how to professionally manage yourself, then that's going to cut into a lot of your time and energy. And it's really, really important to be able to promote yourself and to manage your business and your team. So I think, yes, you know, in the creative industry, absolutely, you know, get as much training as you can with like the skills and techniques, but also, you know, on the other side of things, get to know the business side, because it's very important to run your business responsibly. And, you know, all the boring stuff is actually really, really important too. And if you don't figure out how to do it, you have to pay someone to do it for you, right? So the more that you know about all the different aspects of your business, the better. So from a professional stance, that would be my advice, because a lot of small businesses run into the same issues with all those kind of like bumps along the road. You have to learn the hard way. So really do a lot of research into not just the fun parts of what you want to do, but also the adult responsible parts of what you want to do. Exactly. Yeah.
What about managing people? Like you started with yourself. Is that something you had to learn, was managing people without like there's a right way and a wrong way to do that? I've done it the wrong way. And then I've learned the right way.
Yeah, and I can say the same. I mean, in the beginning when I was younger, I was very much a people pleaser, and I wanted to make sure everybody was happy, and I wanted to be my team's best friend, you know. But there's a time for personal and there's a time for business. So it's important to maintain that balance so that Oh, hi, Mom. It's important to maintain that balance between the personal and the professional. So to know that, yeah, you are going to hire like-minded people and you're going to have a great time, but you also have to be a boss sometimes and make sure that everybody is where they need to be and doing what they're meant to be doing. But I think the biggest thing for me, and I tell this to all the people that join my team, is that we're a very positive bunch. We're creative, we're quirky, and we're more than just a team, like we're a family. And so it's really, really, really important to know that, because we all go through things and life is what happens when you're making other plans. It's really important for my team to know that I'm there for them and we're there for each other through thick and thin. And that's how you create that bond. I mean, I've had people on my team for years and years, and the reason that they keep coming back is because we have that mutual respect and we have that friendship, and it's been a nice balance. And I encourage them to improve on their skills and to achieve their dreams as well. So it really is, it's a nice little kind of synchronicity there where I've been able to watch my team members kind of grow over the years.
Yeah. And, you know, that being said, you've grown, you know, not just as an artist, but as a person as well. Would you agree with that?
Oh, big time. I mean, I've been doing this for 14 years. So that's a long time, and that's a lot of lessons. It's a lot of accomplishments, and it just keeps branching out. You know, every time I think that I'm kind of, you know, going in one direction, then another opportunity comes where I can kind of branch out in a completely different direction that still complements the original business. So I definitely keep an open mind.
Yeah. You've moved around a couple of times, and that's just sort of come from some business decisions, right? Because I know you, when I first met you, you were at home, you were downtown for a bit, but now you've decided to take it back home again?
I did, yeah. Well, I found a really beautiful home. I do like being downtown, and I love having that presence, but of course it comes with quite a hefty price tag.
Yeah.
And my service is mobile. A lot of times, you know, we'll be out at festivals, events. We do our paint parties in restaurants and clubs. I mean, a lot of the time I'm not even in my studio. It's mostly for storage and organizing and kind of team building. So it was a hard decision for me. But when I found this beautiful home, there was a huge garage and a room for a home office. I decided that this was the right path to take, just to reel it in, continue to maintain that balance between having time off and time on, right? Because that's really important too as we get older. And still have the connections downtown. I've actually teamed up with Collide, the cooperative workspace on Front Street, where it's the old CHOK building where Memorable Moments was. And it's a wonderful space, and you pay a monthly membership, and then when you need the space, you pay extra for the space that you're using, but you don't have it as a huge overhead for the whole time that you're there. So I'm really excited about that new connection.
Fantastic. And Halloween, this is kind of like your month.
Yes.
I still have, I meant to get it ready for the show and I forgot, but I still have a picture of me as a zombie.
Oh, that was the best.
And I know you were just, I was so afraid. But you know, you're really in an important space when you're around people. Like you are literally in their face. And that can be invading to some people. And that was probably my issue. I was kind of like, but you were just very, you know, made it nice and fun and relaxing. And I knew by the time it was done, it was going to be fun looking.
Oh, you made a great zombie. Better than Santa.
Right. I forgot about Santa too. Oh, what's she going to have me do next, folks?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Halloween, I know you've got something coming up, the Painted Cat third annual Halloween paint party.
Yes.
Talk about
that's
that.
At Republic, and it's our third one, which I'm super excited about. Halloween is my favorite time of year. And you can see the painting that we're going to be doing together. And don't worry, I'm with you every step of the way. And you can dress up in your costume. There will be a prize for best costume. And we always have a blast. It's so much fun, especially when it's themed like this. And food and drinks at Republic, you can't beat it. It's a great menu, lots of like delicious snacks. And yeah, I just love seeing everybody's costumes and creativity. So that's one thing that we're doing. And then the other exciting thing, and this is like official. I haven't even announced this on my social media yet. So this will be the first time. We've actually acquired the old art gallery at Bayside Mall for our Halloween makeup appointments.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited. It's a great space. We're planning a lot of fun events. We're still kind of working out the details, but we'll definitely have something for the PD day, the 26th. Yep. 27th, we're booking appointments like crazy. And we really encourage our clients to challenge us. Like we love a challenge. So we're going to be doing some really cool special effects makeup and body painting and different things like that. And then we're going to be there on Halloween as well for the kids and doing face painting. So right now we're just negotiating days, but I think it's a great location for a pop-up studio. Everybody knows where it is and there's lots of parking. So the best thing to do is to contact us on Facebook, and my booking agent will set you up with an appointment and give you all the information that you need. But I'm really excited. It's the largest venue, I believe, that we've had to ourselves for our Halloween makeup appointments.
That's great. Congratulations on that. That's exciting.
Thank you.
And we've got the Facebook page up here on the screen. You're also quite popular on Instagram.
Yes, yeah, I'm building my following on Instagram. My goal is to get to 5,000 followers by the end of this year. And I think I'm just over 3,400 right now. So I love Instagram. I mean, it's a great place for visuals, and, you know, you can have a lot of fun in your Insta stories, and you kind of connect with a different demographic too.
Definitely. Well, you've done a fantastic job of growing you as a person, your business. I know you've helped other people grow as well, which that's super impactful to you, right? So once again, I'm really proud of you to see what you've accomplished with everything that you've done to this point. So everybody needs to reach out if you want to have some Halloween fun. Get a hold of the Painted Cat, and if you have a bad experience, I'll pay for it.
Hey.
So no bad experiences.
No, we make sure the customer's satisfied.
Nothing but fun. I know that for sure. Well, if you can make me relaxed and paint me and make me look like a good zombie, then you can do anybody. That's fantastic. Anything? I gotta run and wrap things up. Is there anything before we go?
I guess, will I see you on Friday at the OBAS?
Oh yes, the OBA's coming up. That's right. You're nominated for an award in that as well, right?
Yeah, the Cool Place to Work, which is really cool. So I'm bringing a lot of my team members, and we're going to make a night of it. It's going to be fun.
Fantastic. Well, I'll be on the red carpet prior to, so make sure you come up and see me. You'll see me with the microphone. We're doing red carpet interviews before the event.
Perfect.
Fantastic. And congratulations on that too, by the way.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Painted. Take care.
All right. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving.
The Painted Cat, she's a wonderful young lady. She's done so many fantastic things. It was fantastic to be able to get it. It's been a while since I've had her here on the show, and this just seemed like perfect timing. She recently spoke at Ignite Sarnia. I've seen her grow as a speaker, and just, really grateful that she was able to be here. She's very busy. So check her out on her Facebook page. Make sure you check out her Instagram as well. We have shared the links, but we'll post them. I'm going to be busy posting all the links for our guests here coming up in just a few moments. So, and there's still time to get signed up for the Painted Cat's third annual Halloween paint party that's happening at Republic on October the 30th. Again, now you know how to reach out to the Painted Cat. All right. Well, just before we go, a couple of things that are excitingly, is that a word? It's a word now. I'm trademarking it. Coming up later tonight, I'll be live once again. I've moved into the Twitch world. And if you don't know what Twitch is, Twitch was originally a platform for gamers to broadcast their gameplay on. And it's become very, very popular. There's about 140 million people on it now. So it's catching up to some of the other platforms out there that you might have heard of. It's now not just for, it used to be just for gamers only, but now it is open up to the talk show world and creative world. People like Painted Cat could be on Twitch and doing paints and that sort of thing. So I'm going to be there every Monday night tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern. It is father versus son. That means my son Jason joins me on our Twitch channel at 8 o'clock Eastern. And I'm not going to lie, he's typically better at the games than I am, but we have a lot of fun and we try to be entertaining for you. So you can check that out on twitch.tv/DavBurrows. And hope you'll come and join us for that. And then also I'm live every Tuesday night on Twitch. It's interactive game night. Who's in for that, right? We play Kahoot. If you don't know what Kahoot is, you're missing out. It's fun trivia, put it that way. And we also play Marbles on Stream. What is Marbles on Stream? You come into the channel and you get a marble, and you get to see if your marble wins the race. I know, it sounds silly, but it's very addicting, and I dare you to try it just once. Jennifer said the same thing, really, marbles? And then she played for 2 hours one night. So come on out Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern, for interactive games that you can join along in the stream and play, and Monday nights, father versus son, and some really exciting news about some new things I'm going to be adding to Twitch very, very soon, like within the next coming weeks. I'm teasing, and I so bad want to tell you, but you're going to have to wait. So check us out on twitch.tv/DavBurrows. I'll post that link after the show as well. Also, coming up this week, Sarnia Sting action happens once again at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena on October the 13th as the Sarnia Sting get another opportunity to take on the Guelph Storm. That happens at 7:05. My friend Jay Peckham will be joining me, as always, pregame and second period for Fan Perspective. And I want to give a special shout out to Dan Tidball from DT Freight Express, who supports the show live on location at the Sarnia Sting games and many other ways as well. So thank you, Dan Tidball, for all of your support. And I got to say thanks to all of you, because you are all amazing, and to all my Canadian friends, a happy Thanksgiving. I really do appreciate it when you're here watching. Corinder, thanks for being one of my regular followers here on the show live, and thanks to everybody else who joins in. And if you enjoyed the show, please give us a 10 down in the comments below, and if you're watching the replay, type replay so that I knew when you were watching, right? And take the time, if you enjoyed the show, to click that share button, help us get some more exposure. And don't forget, you can now take me wherever you go. I am now available on Spotify. This episode will be available coming up in just a couple hours, right? So thank you, Spotify, for welcoming us into your family. Thanks for all of you. Once again, enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. That's all the time I got for you this week, everybody. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will talk to you next time right here on the show live. Bye for now.